Good day. This is your tutor, CPA Charles Kafel, and today we are going to continue our series on overhead analysis or overhead costing, and we are still on secondary apportionment. The reason as to why we are putting more emphasis on absorption and overhead analysis is because this overhead absorption and analysis is what makes everything that is done in cost and management accounting. It's the main aim, because after knowing the cost of the product, then we can be able to do the rest of the things. So I'm emphasizing and I'm taking my own time to do each and every video separate so that you get to know the things, and because when you understand this, the rest of the things are going to be easy, because most of the topics we shall be seeing, they are going to be rotating on this same topic of absorption and overhead analysis, because it's a bit challenging. That's why I'm taking my own time to explain each and everything. We said we are using the same question, and it is March 2021, question 6, and we are saying the question wanted a simultaneous equation, but we said we are going to use that same question. We try and understand all the formulas, all the methods that are used within the overhead apportionment using the secondary method, where we transfer the overhead costs from the service department to the production departments. So the question says, Designers World Limited specializes in production of world-class garments for sale to all age groups in Uganda. DWL's main product is the vitenge, which are particular among the youth and the elderly. DWL has 3 production departments, namely the machining, cutting, and finishing department. Those are the 3 production departments, and 2 service departments, which include the quality assurance and the marketing department. During the year ended 31st December 2020, DW incurred the following overheads in the production and sale of vitenge throughout the year. We have the production departments and we have the overhead costs we've incurred in shillings. So these figures that are given down there in thousands, because we are seeing shillings and thousands in inverted commas. So we proceed with the question. It says a technical assessment conducted at the year end revealed that service department overheads were consumed by other departments in the following proportions. So these are the proportions of how we distributed these service departments into all the other departments, including the service departments themselves. And the question says using simultaneous, but here we are going to be looking at the repeated. We finished the direct method. If you have not yet seen it, just go and check out. We've already posted that, but here we are going to be looking at the repeated distribution or the continuous. What means in the continuous or the repeated distribution or reapportionment of overheads is one. We have one scenario that we base on, is that we distribute all the service department costs. We distribute it to both the production and the service department. It is the opposite of the direct, where the direct says we are distributing to only production department. This one says we are distributing it to each and every department within the organization. But what happens is that by the time we are distributing this figure, this figure keeps on reducing. When it reduces, we make sure that we stop at a point where the figure is inefficient or immaterial, that you can even ignore. If let's say you've been working in millions and you find the figure is in, let's say, 1 shilling, you can that one ignore and you say you quote at the end and you say this and this is immaterial. We assume that that is immaterial, depending on where you've reached, because we distribute everything until the figure becomes immaterial or it is completely finished to 0. So we can go ahead and see this, how we are going to be solving this. And I've made the title. The title says DW cost sheet using the repeated or the continuous method for the period ended 31st December 2020. So we have the production departments and the service departments, plus what they have given us as in terms of what we are going to be using, because here what I've just analyzed is what they have given us in the question. We have these costs, they were given to us, and these are the ones we are going to be using as our appropriate basis of reapportioning these costs from the service department to the other production departments. But what this method says is that you distribute these service departments to each other throughout those departments, from the production to the service, until those service departments becomes immaterial. Remember, here we are just distributing only the service department, but here we allow the inter-service components. So we can proceed that when you're seeing like here, this quality assurance is giving 30, this one is giving 20, and it gives this one 40. It also gives out the 10 to the marketing department. It means when you're using repeated distribution or the continuous distribution, even this 10 is going to be considered. The other time in direct method, we considered only these ones, but even this one is going to be considered. The same way, like the marketing is giving this one, and this one, but it also gives us 5 to the quality assurance, which is the service department too. So we can come here and say, can make our workings from here, workings, can put working 1. Then we are looking at the bases. So we have the quality assurance, then you have our marketing department, so let me put it exactly in the same way they are, and the totals, I'm going to put them here in that column for totals. We are saying that quality assurance gives the 30, 20, and 40. This is 30, 20, and 40. So what will be, then it also gives out to whatever. It doesn't give to itself, so this one is going to be 0. So it gives out to this also by, it gives it 10. So what is this marketing department? For it, it gives out 20, 25, 50, and 5. 20, 25, 20, 25, 50. This is 20, 25, 50, and 5. But it doesn't give to itself. So there we can leave, we put a 0. But they told us we are distributing even the service department, we give to them. So we shall get the total from here, since we are even including all of them. Close. Let's enter, that's 100. Sum. We are summing from here to that. It's also giving us a total. Then we also put one total. Sorry. But what I want you to know is that it's not a must that they're supposed to give you the things in percentage. You may find that in some questions, they are just giving you machine hours. They give you the basis of how they apportion these. So don't get used to only one scenario of setting this question. They may use other machine hours, labor hours, raw material percentages, depending on whatever they want to use, as we saw these overheads, how we can get these bases. We saw how. And the other way is, I've got a question from someone who was asking me if we could as well use the OAR, if we could as well use the OAR when we are apportioning these costs. Yes, when you use the OAR, the overhead absorption rates, they will be giving you the same answers. They will be giving you the same answers. Then, but remember what we are doing here is not absorption. We are not absorbing overheads. We are just apportioning. There is a very big difference between apportioning and absorbing. When you're absorbing, you absorb when all the costs have reached the production department, and we are absorbing into the final products. But here we have not yet reached to the final products or the production. There are some costs which are still within the service department. That's why here we are using proportions, and we are just getting proportions, because if you are to use the OAR, you could get this departmental cost, this service we are distributing, you get this, you divide by the total, you multiply by what this department is contributing to each. You'll be getting the same answers, because it's like someone saying A, multiply it by B, and then divide by C. It will be the same way like someone saying B, multiply it by A, and divide by C. Those things are going to give you the same answers. Those ones are giving you same answers, so long as we're not changing the figures, that instead of multiplying by A, you multiply by C. So I hope that one is okay, it's cleared. Even if you use the OAR, you will still get the same answer, because you'll be getting this, divide by this, multiply by 30, of which it is the same as saying 30 over 100 times this. Hope we've cleared that. Then we can proceed with our scenarios. Sorry. Okay, we can proceed. But here, the other thing, they don't specify that you are supposed to start with this scenario. But as I said in my first video, that we go by what service by which this service department is giving us less cost, or which has a less cost, is the one we start with, because there is somewhere we are going to get an explanation that is a bit different from this. That's why I'm following this stuff, so that you can be able not to get confused when we reach there. So we are starting with distributing the quality assurance. The other person could start with the marketing department. There is no problem, but me, I suggest we go by this, the one that gives the less cost first. We go in the ascending order so that we can be able to understand. This one, how are we taking it? We can go by the other ratios we said. We are using ratios. And the other way you can also say is that all, let me put all, because I know people may need different views on different issues. Permit me to use QA for quality assurance and MD for marketing department. You can also divide this one you divide by 10, and this one you divide by 5, like the same way. This one would be 3. It will be equal sign this divide by 10, which will give us 3. This one will give us 2. This one will give us 4. This one will be 0, and this one will be 1. So for this one, for this second one, we divide it. This one will be a 0, and for this one will be a 1. This one will be a 10, because when you divide 50 divide by 5, you get 10, and this, it will be 5, and the last one will be 4. So when we sum up, you'll still get the same, because this one divided by 5, what will that be? You can just sum up from here, you get sum. We are summing from here to, sorry, we are saying sum starting from here to there. It will give us a 20, and even this one we can sum up, cosine sum from here to there. So we start distributing. This is 10, this is 20. So we can start distributing, that we are distributing, we go with the figures. Since they are not big enough, we can still take these 30s, 30 to 20 to 40, then to 10, because we are giving also this service department, but this one is 0. Then the next one will be distributing marketing department. Marketing department, permit me to use that. Then this will be 20 to 25 to 50 to 5. This 5 we are seeing here. So you can put these ones in bracket if you want. These ones you can put them in bracket. So that the work looks a bit fine, like that. Then we can get also the totals here for our proving. It will be this, which will go up to that, which will be giving us that. Then we start distributing this. Here we said we are starting with this. We're distributing 1 to 400. So it is that. Let me first remove these borders. So that we'll be able to get, we shall put them back when we are done. But this one, since we are distributing this, is supposed to be in brackets. Is what we are distributing. You can either put the totals here, so that what is here and here will sum up to what will be in this. So we start by saying this, divide by our total, multiply it by the cost. The cost is this. Then for this one, it will be cosine this, divide by our total, we multiply it by this. Then for this, it will be cosine this. And this one, divide by our total, which is that, and we multiply by that. Will give us that. Even this one will be this cosine this, divide by this, and then multiply by that. It gives that. So having known that, then we can now distribute this marketing department. But remember, this one had 16 million, so it will be 16 plus this. We get what we are going to be distributing. It will be cosine sum of this and that. We get what we are going to be distributing. Close the bracket, press enter. This is what we are distributing out. So we can put it in a bracket. This is what we are distributing out. So it will be, we can keep this total here and we can try to keep this total here so that we get, it is 1724000. Because when we keep it here, we can be able to point here. We put this one in a bracket. We can't put it in the bracket because we computed that using the formula. So we can remove that. But the good thing we've known, it is 172400123. That is the total. It means we sum up these two. So we put it in a bracket. Now it will be able to go into our bracket. It means we are distributing it. That's why it is turning out to be a negative. So when we distribute, it will be equal sign this. Now we are distributing the marketing department. It will be this, divide by this, then multiply it by this. But this is a negative, so we are multiplying by this. Hope you get what I'm talking about. So we go to the next one. It will be equal sign this. Divide by this. Then we multiply by this. it is equal sign this, divide by the total, and we multiply by those units. Even for this one, it will be this equal sign this, divide by the total, and we multiply by this. And we repeat the same way that we are distributing. This one is done because when you add this one plus this one, it will come to 0. That one will be a 0. So when it becomes a 0, we distribute this. We are now distributing 86. It is 862000. It's now the one we are distributing. We are distributing now the quality assurance. This is quality assurance. In the same proportion, so we can copy that one the way it is and we paste it here. We are now distributing this. It will be equal sign the same, that percentage divided by this, then we multiply. Now we are multiplying by this one. It will be that. Then we get equal sign this, divide by this, then multiply it by this. Will give us that. Then it is equal sign this, divide by the total, multiply it by the cost we are distributing. Even here, it is equal sign this, which is 10, divide by this, then we multiply it by this. I must have made a mistake. I think it is fine. Yeah, it's okay. I thought it's a mistake because when you get 10% of this, you remove 1 0. Then we go to, now we are distributing this. Remember, these costs were in millions. Now it has turned out to go into a very small figure. So now we are distributing this, which is 86. It is 86,200. It is 86,200. So when it becomes a negative, oh, sorry. Control Z. I'm leaving that figure there because it's the one I used to compute some of those figures there. Now we are distributing the marketing department, and in the same ratio, which is this, and paste it there, and we go to say this one is going to be cosine this, which is 20 over 100, multiply it by this. It will give us that. Then it will be cosine this, divide by this, we multiply by this. Then this one will be cosine this, 40%, divide by 100, multiply it by this. Then for this one, it will be cosine this 5, divide by 100, we multiply it with this. will be giving us that. So now we are distributing the quality assurance department, and we are distributing this. What we are distributing, we put it in the bracket, sorry. We put it in the bracket, it is 4310. It is the one we are distributing, and we are distributing now the quality assurance. Quality assurance in the same way, in the same proportion. So we distribute, it will be equal sign this, same percentage, divide by this, we multiply by what we are distributing. Even this one will be equal sign this, it is 20 divided by 100, we multiply by this. Then this be equal sign this, 40% divided by 100, then we multiply by this, and we shall be getting that. Even this one, it will be equal to 10 over 100, then we multiply it by this. So now you are seeing the figure, it was from millions, now it became to 400. Now from here you can say, we can say that this figure is immaterial. The other, you can proceed and you add here the marketing department, and you distribute this to all of them. But from here, because if a company loses this 400, we say it is immaterial. And the logic is that this balance you are calling immaterial, when you try to sum up here, the total cost of this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, the difference must be this immaterial figure. We are going to prove it. We come here and we say, we put the totals, we say we call that, we assume, and that figure is immaterial. But if you want, you can proceed when you're in an exam and they have not given you, most of the times they give the immaterial figure, they may say that 500 will be immaterial. So when you reach for this amount, you can say it is immaterial. But if they have not given, make sure you calculate until you get 0. Don't get 0 point something. So long as you get 0, you stop there. That's how it is. So these costs, it will be equal sign sum from here up to here. Let's enter. Is that. You can also add this, the whole of that until there. We said, how do we prove? The way we prove this is, let me just put proof. Proof is that when you add this plus this plus this, you must be getting this. It will be equal sign sum this to there. You can even proceed from this side, but we are supposed to that. You see this figure? It is not exactly this one, but the difference is this figure we call the immaterial, or the insignificance. When you add it here, let's try to add it here. You shall see that this, we add this plus this. we are getting almost this. Meaning that there are some decimals here we've ignored. And that's how we get that. So that's it. And here we are done with that. You can try to put these borders, even this one. That's how we do that. Hope you can be able to understand. And let's go ahead and we see how we can handle the one which is a bit different, that is elimination method or step up. That one is a bit tricky and it has something that you need to be able to understand first. Until we meet again, it's bye for now.